Hello, everybody, and welcome to the erstwhile podcast. This much is true. I'm Mark Manning. Somebody has to be. That's what I always say. Anywho, as you know, I don't really do these anymore, but I do like to pop in every so often and look around the coop and see how you're all doing, sitting on your purchase of life, and perhaps you'll share some with me. But you haven't been, which is largely the reason this much is true is no more. I need the oxygen of interaction, and I wasn't getting it. And then I suppose maybe I didn't deserve it because I went whoring after strange paranormal gods in the form of my beloved podcast, Scary Era, which has just ideas have legs. It's gone really, really well. And I know you don't want to hear about it, but you're going to anyway, because episode 5, can you believe I'm into that already? Episode 5 is out on Monday and features the story of the last lady to be hung in County Carlow. Or is it hanged? I never can tell. And her name was Lucinda Sly. Read for you by the fragrant tones of the lovely Sarah Campbell, who's a voiceover, and she's an English lady but lives up the north of Ireland. Voiceover and radio personality as well. And I'm happy to call her friend. She's really, really good. So thank you for Sarah. Lord, thank you for Sarah. Well, thank you, Sarah, if you are looking in, but I doubt it. So that's worked out well. And who else have I? The story of the dirty old Dolacher. Dolacher was a half man, half pig who terrorised an area of Dublin. Namely, it was an area called Hell in Dublin. I don't know. I think it was in the Liberty somewhere. And the Squire, a.k.a. David McGlynn, is voicing that. We might have Billy, was it Billy Mackenzie? Billy, no it's not, his name isn't Mackenzie, it'll come to me. But anyway, Scottish Billy might be doing a little Glaswegian piece for me as well, although I'm not sure. I also got talking to a very charming lady based up in Drogheda called Jenny Sullivan, and she fronts for the last close to 20 years her own paranormal investigation outfit called Emerald Isle Paranormal. So she had some great stories for me about tunnels under a castle. I can't remember the name of the area, up in County Antrim. So that's all been fun, and that goes out on Monday the 16th. Please the Lord. Anything else about it? Anything else I can think? Oh, I have a slightish UFO story. Slightish. Or what do they call it these days? Unidentified anomaly. Phenomenon or something. Anomalous phenomenon. Do. Yeah, that's anyway. Look, that's all the paranormal stuff, and thanks again to Nick Clark, who's a bit of a dour, or is it dour, Scottish gentleman, businessman and author, who I know from my narration days. He was to come on the show, but he hasn't been well. But he sends me this video, which you might have seen. I know you weren't too impressed by it, Nigel. I don't believe it was a torch. I just know the nature of the guy who sent it to me, and he doesn't suffer fools gladly, or would even be. He's too busy. He's a really successful businessman. One of the first guys after the Cold War into Russia. And as well as being an author, he's just self-made businessman. And I don't think he'd be up at whatever it was in his late sister's house with a torch at a certain hour in the morning trying to amuse me. Voiceovers are going really well. I'm not boasting, but I made €120 this week. Sounds big time, huh? But it is when you think about 3 words. That's all it was. You know, got the email. Get us these 3 words, Mark, and here's 120 for you. And I had the 3 words over and recorded, and it'll be dubbed on a certain television ad. I think. Anyway, it was all done within minutes. I just thought, this is a laugh. It really, really is. In the scheme of things in television, it's probably not a lot, but they give me so much work, I'm not going to begrudge them. I want 500 for it because it's television. It doesn't work like that. What they like, this particular outfit, is they like response time. And voiceovers are rolling in. I know I did something. Yeah, a famous fun show comes to Dublin. A big, yeah, I'm not going to name the client, but everybody knows a big show that happens in Dublin with all thrill rides and all that kind of stuff every year. So I did the voiceover for that as well. I'm a busy little boy. I am. I've got a cold and I can't shift the bloody thing at all. I'm afraid I'm going to give it to people. So I've largely limited myself just to the family here. Oh, do you know what I did? I chopped peppers tonight. Peppers. And you know when they're on your fingers, even though you wash the bloody things 3 or 4 times, it's just got in my eye here. I was looking at do you know sometimes age is not good to people. I hate to say it, but I saw an interview with Andrew Ridgeley of Wham. You know, he was the useless part of Wham, but that's rotten, really. But anyway, I'm sure he's lived well on the hog since George passed, because I know that George gave him royalties to certain songs, which perhaps they did co-write some of them originally, but he looks like a mummy. And I know he's of a kind of Egyptian extract anyway, but he just looks like a living mummy. Shouldn't really say that, especially as you're chubsy here. But, you know, you kind of, some people age really gracefully, and this guy just wizened is the word that springs to mind. But I've a daughter. My youngest daughter is very idealistic, as they all are at certain ages. So, you know, she's knocking the shit out of the owl lad in me. Anything I say that's remotely, as we used to say in Ireland, past remarkable or nasty in nature, she wallops out of me, you know. For instance, tonight I'm looking at the news, and there's a guy and he's talking a little bit like that, even worse, on the Irish news, and I just happen to say, God, I don't know anyone who talks like that. And straight away she snaps back, well, now you do. Then we were after buying the Christmas tree. It's been delivered tomorrow. And we were on our way back in the car. And I saw these young ones, like teenagers. And the skirts, you know, up to their twiglets, basically. Now, it's not that I'm an old fella looking at that. It's the fact that it was freezing. So I made this remark, you know. I said, their knickers must be frozen off them. Or the little things that pass for knickers these days, you know, like the floss thing. What's it? A thong. Anywho. And straight away, from the car goes, you shouldn't be commenting on young girls like that. They'll learn themselves that it's too cold to be wearing these. Oh, Jesus. I said, just that loggerheads. But I love that about a younger generation and an older generation. Because I used to be a bit of a real, but some people would say nothing's changed. But I would have been a pain in the arse when I was younger about certain things. And then, you know, you get more conservative and you get less idealistic. Then it comes full circle and hits you up the hole. So, yeah, I don't know. I love my daughter, do not get me wrong, but I just, she has that at the moment. You know, I am not the enemy, but I'm the old fella that's always given out. She's probably right. It's very perceptive of her. I've no idea what's been happening in your lives. You're not communicating with me, and it's not that I'm throwing my toys out at the pram. I totally understand. You have a life, I have a life, which is why I don't really do any more of these. This much is truths. Do watch out for the old. He won't like me calling him old because he isn't old. He's only 73 years young. And I think, did I see a comment from you, lovely Sue, from my friend? Can't think of him now. Of course I can think of him. Ray's Rants podcast. My favourite soporific in the nicest possible way. He's great. He does a show every Sunday for an hour, and then he catches up midweek for about 10 or 15 minutes. So if you have made the switch, Sue, to Ray, you won't find me jealous, because I think I would have recommended him to you in the first place. I love him. I love him. I love his consistency. I love the way he doesn't get dragged into what the hell is going on in the world these days. He winks at the world, and he's a nice man. And I like them as I get older. As I get older, I am having less and less time. The despite what my daughter might think, for hateful people. And there's a lot of it about it. I hate this. I hate that. I hate. Fuck you and your hatred. I'm done with you. I might, yes, indeed. I might, have the pink shaded, what do they call it, glasses on. That's okay. Because I don't know. It's day by day now with me. I'm not going to get dragged in. Yeah, I see stuff going on. Of course I do. Like the rest of you. But the rose tinted are firmly in place because I've come to the decision that there's not a lot I can do about it. And I think there's a stupidity. I have to be careful how I put this because it sounds very high-minded, but I do think there's a mass stupidity within society, and if I can microcosm it, we've had an election in the last few weeks here, a national election. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, except to say, if people didn't make the change this time around, they never will. They never will. There were 5 or 6 issues like I've never seen in my life in this country, that are a direct result of the misgovernance within this country, and a lot of them are potentially lethal now to our way of life and how we had things. And that's not to say that I don't welcome change, but I welcome positive change. I don't welcome what's often touted as progress or progressive when it is in a very dystopian and degenerate field. And I don't want to know now about the Irish electorate. I don't care what happens to you. You fucking well asked for it. You get the government you deserve, and I'm going to say no more about it than that. So, yeah, what am I at? 12 minutes, 23 seconds of free fall of the mental variety. I did mention my cold, did I not? Brilliant. I'm pretty much off the drink. I did treat myself to a lovely glass on Thursday night. There was some kind of culinary program on. I had it. But that was it. I didn't have any drink previous weekend. I'm having, well, so far anyway, I've had no drink this weekend. I just don't miss it. To me, it had become a habit, and a habit I didn't like. Yeah, but I'm just sounding Puritan now. I'm getting very self-conscious in my old age. So if I don't see you, season's greetings. Have a wonderful Christmas time. And I'm going to say that. I'm not going to give you this holiday season shit. It's Christmas. We celebrate it here. And I'm proud to. So I hope you see all your loved ones, and not on a screen, but up close and personal. I'm going to keep away from my loved ones if I can, because I'm going to give them whatever the hell this is. And talk soon to you. Talk to you. I'll see you next year, probably. Don't forget Paranormal. Yeah, it's out on Monday. Scary era. So listen in. See you.